Trump spent the holiday at Mar-A-Lago. Apparently he had some guests. I thought I had a weird assortment of people that I spent Thanksgiving with. But apparently Donald Trump invited Nick Fuentes and Kanye West to Mar-A-Lago. Now, earlier DM came in here and was like, you didn't know who he was. Like, the Secret Service is vetting everyone that comes in there. As if Trump should have people around him that are running his campaign and telling him who to meet with and shit. Because remember, he is officially running for office now. What a stupid fucking thing to say. We're gonna go to an MSNBC piece on it. We're gonna get some Trump code.
Just 11 days after announcing his third bid for the White House, former President Donald Trump is under fire for having dinner with a well-known white supremacist and a Holocaust denier, Nick Fuentes, at Mar-A-Lago. In a statement, the former president said Fuentes was merely a guest of rapper Ye, or Kanye West, who was also at the dinner. Trump concluded the statement saying, quote, "I didn't know Nick Fuentes." Now, he did not denounce the anti-Semitic and racist screeds on which Fuentes has built his entire platform. And frankly, I shouldn't surprise you. We saw the same pattern when Trump wouldn't initially condemn former Klan leader David Duke. He did it after Charlottesville with his "there were fine people on both sides" comments. And he did it when he told the Proud Boys not to stand down, but to stand back and stand by. So here to discuss is my political panel,
Good evening.
is the White House bureau chief at the Washington Post.
Okay, I'm trying to take all of this in because her graphics are wild. They're like, it looks like we're going to the see the Wizard of Oz right now. It's tripping me out.
Rocha is a Democratic strategist and host of the Latino Vote podcast, and Rena Shaw is a Republican strategist and founder of
They look like a screensaver from the 90s. Right, it's the Riddler's lair.
I'll start with you because Fuentes is a known white supremacist that before this meeting, this dinner, if you will, many people didn't even know his name. Now we are sitting here talking about him. Not just us, many outlets have talked about him. So what do news organizations need to be vigilant of when it comes to these extremist figures?
I don't know who
going
she
into
is.
This 2024 cycle.
Her logo down here, this Simone, it looks like some kind of corporate product that's trying to show that they're green. We're eco-friendly, recyclable. I fucked my joke up. I'm sorry.
Question. It's incredibly important for reporters, journalists generally, to call out people like for what they are.
Wasn't she on Hillary's campaign?
Mention words that don't specifically identify him as white supremacist, as someone who has engaged in this kind of extremist behavior. And so it is important for us to focus on that and make sure that we're using the right language. Now, it is also important for us to not dwell and not elevate people like that who have meetings with Donald Trump because they want to be in the news, because they want to be elevated, because they want to be in the national conversation. And so it's important for us to call out what happened and then move on and talk about the importance of what it means for a former president to have dinner with a white supremacist and
she went for Bernie Sanders.
Condemn his views and not remove himself as opposed to associating himself with such views. And so it's important for us to write about what this means.
Oh, but she did indeed work for Biden in 2020.
Such a person who not only was the president, could be running for president again, or is running for president again, and could be the president again. It's important for us to write about it and talk about it in ways that are responsible.
Spoken like a White House bureau chief, y'all. Look, I agree with Tolu, and I think he's right on the money. But Rena, let me just say this. Donald Trump was having dinner with Kanye West, who brought Nick Fuentes. And I think it's important.
Girl, you gotta quit smacking your lips.
Kanye West was blasted for his anti-Semitic comments. And if it was anybody else who was having dinner with Kanye West this week, we would be talking about the fact that this person had dinner with Kanye West. We'd be asking if they denounce anti-Semitism. We would be asking, if they stand with Kanye, and we would not be talking about the white supremacist plus one.
So I've got a few thoughts on this. Number one, where are the gatekeepers?
No white supremacist plus one
anymore. Also, where did our standards go? Again, there are none anymore. So this demands a public conversation that's not just robust, it is one that should call to the carpet the people that are most guilty.
I have Alice in here. Hey, Alice. He left now, but that was wild. That's the like cat I never get. I was not expecting Alice to be in here. She is not a pick-upable cat. I cannot show her on screen. she will Aaron agreements. I look like she came in here and got a drink of water. Oh. Like Smokey's in here.
Of doing the most obscene things. And Nick Fuentes is one of those people. He is a Holocaust denier. In my generation, your generation, Simone, we know this. This was just baked into history class. We know that the Holocaust is real. So I'm one of those people who's never been part of the journalistic corps. But I will say this, I genuinely believe in this country, justice comes along with great journalism. And if we didn't have Twitter to expose the fact that Kanye and Nick Fuentes can waltz right into Mar-A-Lago and say whatever they want to say.
Curiouser makes a good point. The little kitten might be swimming in the fountain. She puts her whole ass body in it. She's getting a little too big. Like that fucking cat is getting like really big. She's taking a growth spurt. She was an itty bitty small kitten and felt like she was so fragile. And now she's like, she's getting to be a long baby. It's wild.
And do whatever they want to do, we would have no accountability. It is up to Republican leaders, again, to denounce the very underbelly of the party. But will they rise to the occasion? Likely not. So I think it again demands us, the public, to do our part and push back, have corporations push back too.
But I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying. And I get the last point I'm gonna say on this, and Chuck, if you could quickly respond, but I have heard nothing about the anti-Semitism. I think it is terrible that a white supremacist was able to sit down and have dinner with a former president. But as I just went through before I introduced this segment, par for the course for Donald Trump. I think
I gave you cat pictures to look at. This is what puts her whole ass body in the fountain.
People need to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Did we just forget about the anti-Semitism, Chuck?
You're exactly right. And the point you're making is the most important part of this politically and policy-wise. We can't stand by and let any of this stuff happen and turn our head and go, oh, it's just Cray being Cray. You know how Donald is. He's just a little crazy. He hangs out with the white supremacists. No, we don't allow it. We condemn it. We call it out for what it is. And we say we are better than this as a country. And we will not stand by and let this just go by as another crazy thing.
I disagree with him on a lot of things because, like, you gotta just let Cray be Cray, right? Because, like, you can't infringe on people's freedoms. He's free to go be as crazy as he wants to. Kanye is free to be a fucking black white supremacist. A black skinhead, if you will. I don't know, that's probably a bad joke. That's one of his songs. But, like, this is who we are as a country. Have you read a history book, sir? I thought you guys were supposed to be. This is exactly who we are as a country. Fuck off.
Donald Trump is done. This man wants to run to be president. Let him run. But you cannot let him run and be around these crazy folks and not call it out every single day. That's our job.
All right. I want to turn to the events of this last week because not one but two mass shootings, right, have made national news. They resulted in 11 total deaths.
You know what, Simone? Thank you. Thank you for that awesome transition. Oh, I had one more story before I go to the mass shootings. My apologies. But Simone, I was going to turn to mass shootings, but we got one more story before we do the mass shootings. Have you heard the freaking news? YouTube, Facebook, and all of big tech are trying to do a cancel culture on JustinFREAKIN.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Help the channel stay alive and grow by subscribing or following, and be sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the fun, even when one platform tries to shut us up.
He's kicking authority in the balls.
If you have it to spare and really want to show support, consider subbing on Twitch, becoming a patron, or a member on YouTube. You'll get access to extra delights and debauchery, and you'll have my eternal appreciation. Thank you for being a freaking follower, and have a great freaking day.